And how, so I never worked in a consulting firm ever before. Even right now, I work for a big retailer. So for me, my clients are people within the company, right? So I work with supply, I work with finance, marketing. How different is it to work in a consulting firm? And also, is there any benefit working in consulting firm versus working somewhere else in big retailers?
Yes, I can answer your question because very recently I had experience with a in-house team as well, where it was out of consulting domain. That was a in-house experience. And to comment about consulting, my role there, it was not just primarily consulting. What people generally understand by consulting is that there's some presentation only that is involved. But in our case, it was a project and consulting combined. And to comment on your question about if there's any benefit or what kind of difference this is. So consulting, it's a high moving field, as in the expectations are much higher. In the in-house team, you have your managers, you have everyone supporting you, and they're the final people. But in case of consulting, our manager, even they're not the final people. Final person
Mhm.
is the client whom we are working with, and all of the
Okay.
in-house team. That's like a unit in itself. Also, it'll, I would say, there are some more added dimensions to the job, which are more related to project management, which are, say, client management and those type of responsibilities as well. But yeah, otherwise, it's more or less the same kind of thing that we're working on: data science, solving the business problem.
Okay, cool. Okay. So another thing I want to ask about the consulting is, so this is something like during my early days, it's something that I've faced because when you start working in a company, either if you come from a business background, then it's easy to translate what stakeholders are asking for. But if you don't come from that business background, and if you come from a technical background, it's usually not that easy to translate the business problem into a data science problem. So when you work in a consulting firm, because you said there's no hierarchy, there's no managers or whatsoever, how easy was it to translate what the stakeholders asking for versus what is it that you're providing?
Yeah, that actually adds up to a difference as well, because say in a consulting type of environment, this type of thing, it is pre-decided. There's a very initial phase of process. It is called as the scoping process, right? So we do scoping of the problem. We have to first of all clearly define the problem and the solutions that we are going to work on, at least the outline of it. And only once those type of things are defined, do we get a mandate from the client that, okay, this is something we will go ahead with. In a regular type of in-house job, there is a constantly moving process. But in case of consulting, we do it initially as part of the scoping and part of the solution and the solution proposition itself. So
Mhm.
initially it requires much effort. We do industry studies, what other people have tried on, and these type of things already help. But
Mhm.
it does not hit us back again, but because that has already been worked upon.
That's good to know about the consulting journey and how things actually work in consulting firms.